Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Janelle's off tonight. Old man winter is leaving no room for sun, warmth, or really anything except for snow and lots of it. That grip even on our city, even shutting down schools. Billings School District 2 calling for a snow day tomorrow. One of just a few in the last decades. We start out with Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. And Bob, I think it's safe to say the question everyone is asking right now, how much more of this stuff are we going to get?
We're calling it the winter wonderland because we're wondering when it's going to stop. But let me show you where it started today. We wound up with 6 degrees below zero for the overnight low temperature. Take a look at Great Falls. It was 23 below zero. So let's talk about the snow. We've already had about 2 inches of snow in the Billings area. So what are we expecting for the rest of tonight? Maybe another 2 inches of snow. For Wednesday, going to see maybe 3 inches of snow. Then on Thursday, maybe another 4 inches of snow. Then on Friday and Saturday, it's a brand new month. We're into March, looking for a trace of snow, and then that means we'll have a total of 9 inches of snow. So is this stuff going to end anytime soon? Check out the 8 to 14-day temperature forecast. See that blue? That's cold Arctic air dropping as far south as Dallas. So yeah, it's going to be cold here right on through the middle part of next month. Back to you, Russ.
All right, thanks, Bob. In the middle of the snow are wrecks, quite a few of them, even in town. Blocked medians, whiteout conditions, and icy streets making going and stopping difficult. This is what it looked like shortly after noon around 6th Avenue North and Main Street. A multi-vehicle crash with injuries left traffic backed up and first responders in the middle of a dangerous intersection. Lieutenant Katie with the Billings Police Department urged motorists to slow down around emergency vehicles on scene. A crash is also mounting on highways. These are some shots from the Montana Department of Transportation webcams. Earlier today, eastbound lanes on I-90 near Reed Point were blocked by a multi-vehicle accident with no detour possible. Took crews around an hour and a half to clear that scene. And according to MHP, its crash reports will continue to rise. In the last 24 hours, Montana has seen hundreds of snow-related crashes and slide-offs. Across the state, the Montana Highway Patrol reports there have been 314 crashes through the course of this latest snowstorm. But that doesn't count slide-offs, which are non-injury, single-vehicle incidents. Across Montana, there have been 159 slide-offs. In Billings, there have been 53 crashes and 20 slide-offs. The busiest area in the state has been the Helena, Butte, and Dillon areas, where MHP reports there have been 85 crashes and 60 slide-offs. Well, according to Cascade County Disaster and Emergency Services, some 46 people are stranded by snow in the Dearborn area. The Cascade County Sheriff's Office was notified Monday of that situation. They're preparing to evacuate residents from the area if needed. Several agencies are on standby, including Cascade County Search and Rescue, the American Red Cross, and the Salvation Army. These steps are a precaution because more snow is expected.
Nobody wants evacuation at this time, and everybody's doing fine, according to the fire chief. There's a few people that are hanging on by a string, but they don't want evacuation at this time. They don't want help at this time. And in the event that they do, then we'll go into action.
Cascade County has already notified the state in case assistance is needed. Well, if this winter weather is getting you down, you may be affected by a psychological disorder and not even know it. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, can happen any time of year, but it's typically seen more often in the winter months when people are cooped up inside. The disorder is caused by a change in the amount of light you receive on a daily basis. Symptoms include low energy, isolation, changes in appetite, and a change in sleep schedule. Light therapy is the most popular treatment, but a psychiatrist we talked to at Billings Clinic says people affected by SAD often don't seek the help they need.
Just for people to realize that this is a real thing, because some people are like, oh, you know, that's just hogwash. That's not anything that's really real. But it is, and it is something that you can get treatment for. And so I just want people to know that going and talking openly with their primary care providers is really the best option for them.
And if you think you're experiencing seasonal affective disorder or having suicidal thoughts, please reach out to a mental health professional or a friend or family member. You can see the number for the suicide hotline there on the bottom of your screen. Well, a surprise out of Billings City Council in regards to one Big Sky District project that we've been telling you so much about. The council voted not to renew the agreement with Landmark Development, the company behind the project plans. Q2's Zoe Zandora joins us now with more on what this means for the city and the project going forward. Zoe?
That's right, Russ. Just 2 weeks ago, the council approved Landmark's One Big Sky development plan with a 7-3 vote last night, with a split 5-5 vote declining to renew with Landmark. This comes as a shock to many. This was a separate agreement that was voted on where the city was agreeing to reimburse Landmark for some of their costs over the last 2 years if they are not involved in this project, even if the project goes forward with a different developer. And that is what happened and what was rejected last night. Council failed to approve a reimbursement plan. I spoke with Mayor Bill Cole and Big Sky EDA Director Steve Arviskow, who say there's no doubt this is a bump in the road, but they're optimistic they can get legislation through in Helena to provide the funding tool for One Big Sky District.
The council, even last night, still was supporting the plan and the idea and the legislation in Helena. But the vote itself was a disappointment because we don't get people who want to invest more than $300 in or $300 million in our community every day. And last night we said, no thank you, at least not on those terms.
It makes that partnership with Landmark very difficult going forward. It sends mixed messages. I mean, there's some realities there that we'll have to work with and manage through. But the fundamental vision, the plan that council adopted, and the economic development tool that we're working on with Senator Webb, that is still priority #1 right now.
Now, Senator Roger Webb told MTN today that he plans to meet with Billings officials in Helena on Thursday to go over the bill draft and discuss any changes that might be needed before it would be introduced. Russ?
All right, thank you, Zoe. A trio of bills to help rural school districts in Montana address a teacher shortage is moving through the legislature. Two of them won endorsement by the House on Tuesday. MTN's Mike Dennison has more.
The Montana House said yes Tuesday to a pair of bills aimed at helping rural schools find people for hard-to-fill teaching positions, each in their own unique way. House Bill 420 from Democratic Representative Tyson Runningwolf of Browning creates a grant program to help train local high school students and local professionals to get certified in areas with an identified shortage. It would help people who aren't teachers get certified and help pay for those costs.
This is one way that we can keep the people in the community and have them also be able to teach. It's a win for the community and a win for the schools all the way around.
Runningwolf said Browning has already tried the program and he hopes it can work elsewhere.
So it ain't a deal for myself to just bring back to them, but also to help the rest of Montana. Maybe this will not be the cookie cutter model to help every rural community, but it's one that worked for us.
The House also endorsed House Bill 459 from Republican Representative Becky Beard of Elliston. It would use $500,000 a year in oil and gas tax revenue to create a pair of accounts to help rural school districts recruit and retain teachers.
Our rural schools absolutely need this assistance to be able to attract the best qualified, best suited teachers and certified staff for their students.
Last week, the House also passed a bill from Republican Lou Jones of Conrad that expands into more rural areas a state program that helps repay student loans for certain teachers. But all of these bills cost money, about $1.5 million over the next 2 years. So while they're passing the House, they still have to survive the rest of the session and the competition for funds in the state budget. At the Capitol, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
All three of those bills should get their first hearings in the state Senate next month. Firefighters from across Montana came to Great Falls to honor one of their own today.
It is with heavy hearts that Great Falls Fire Rescue says a final goodbye to engineer Jason Baker.
Jason will not only be remembered for his dedication to the fire service, but also as a loving husband, father, and brother to all he meant. Baker, a longtime advocate for firefighter health protections, passed away last week from cancer. He was a major proponent of the bills moving through the legislature, saying he didn't want any other family going through what he did. And today, Billings firefighters posting on its Instagram saying some of its crews were there in Great Falls, staffing one of the firehouses so that Great Falls firefighters could attend Baker's funeral. Coming up on tonight's 5:30 news, while downtown might be coated in snow right now, just a few months, runners will be taking its place. It's time to sign up for another year of the women's run. And in sports, Scott shows us how Q2's Athlete of the Week, this Bobcat runner from Joliet, just left her permanent mark on MSU's program.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.